Hey guys, so here we are again. Welcome to my shop, my little crafting room. I am going to try to paint. I'm going to try to have two camera angles. We'll see how this works. Right now I am working on a couple of old school Space Marines. They're my own chapter. I call them the Steel Rangers. They are a standard Space Marine squad, or standard Space Marine chapter, but they're going to be BDU style, to where like the old 1980s, a little bit modified. They're not the true forest green, but they're the olive green drab, because I like olive green drab and I like better than I like forest green. So one of the reasons I picked this color, make sure is because my dad originally came up with these colors for his old Space Marine. I loved it so much, and I like following the things that I like. It's not like it's going to be too hard to do this. So the BDU style is 4 different colors. It's a type of green, which is about half the model color, and then half of it is brown. I do a Zenithal highlight, and then I base it green, and just what's great about this, it hides all your mistakes. I don't have to do anything crazy or stupid. I paint for tabletop standard when it comes to armies. I can put hours into it, but I found this has diminishing returns. Stuff is really thick. Let me water that down. So because I have quite a bit of armies to paint, and these guys have been waiting forever and a day to be painted, I decided just to get them done at a good tabletop, or what I call tabletop minus quality. So I continue to just easily put it on. Oh, sorry, I probably have this wrong. If you hear any noise in the background, it's probably my cat playing with the door, because my cat loves the door. And I just not quite randomly put stuff on. I just, where everything just looks kind of good, I just didn't mean to hit the hand there. My brush control's a little off. I haven't painted in about 9 weeks. I was actually got into an accident, and my hands and stuff were just still kind of weak, which is fine. They'll get strong again. Just keep working at it. It's still really thick. So what is the Steel Rangers? So actually my friend helped me come up with the name of it. The unofficial name is E4 Mafia. If you guys don't know what the E4 Mafia is, you should look it up. It's unofficial, it doesn't belong in the military, but yet it exists. So these guys their story is that they're against the Primaris Marines and Guilliman, who they think is actually Alfarius, because they think Guilliman was actually killed back in the day at the Horus Heresy, or is it after the Horus Heresy, I believe. And Alfarius was actually put into stasis, not Guilliman, and he'd slowly changed the picture of Guilliman after 10,000 years. So that's when, I forget which book Guilliman was in, where the Emperor said he's a traitor. So, and his son. Oh, my light go off. Let's see. Well, my phone's having a little weird problems. I'll try to keep the light in. try to keep the light. I need to get better light. We'll try. I'll eventually try to get better. But I mean, we're just doing basic stuff right now. Just applying colors on them and stuff. We're not doing any type of highlights or details. I'll have to get a better light for if I'm going to try to do this. So, and I just spin around, make sure I got all the parts. I mean, I'm sure you guys have painted before. If not, you should get on it. Painting is pretty therapeutic. It gets into your nothing box, and you can just enjoy and just the repetitiveness, and then also just enjoy the miniature that you have. Time to think. So anyway, as you guys probably can tell, I do not like the Primaris Marines, and I saw a video today about how a guy loved Primaris Marines, and he also liked the Firstborn Marines too. But there's a piece of metal right there that I missed. I have to paint over that. I think people should go and enjoy the stuff they want to enjoy. As you guys found out earlier, I do not like 10th edition 40K, but that is okay. People can enjoy and should enjoy the games they love. Otherwise, it's not for me. It's not for me to tell them what they can and cannot enjoy. I have done, I played several games now, 10th edition, and it's just not my cup of tea, and it's okay. Basically, I'm getting these guys ready for ILIKE's 3rd edition, and I just bought some templates for 2nd edition. I missed 2nd edition. I think I told that earlier. So I'm really excited to see if I can get one of my friends to play 2nd edition with me, just to try it out. I found some templates online because they use different templates than like Horus Heresy or the 3rd to 7th edition. So I was able to find some online for a pretty good price. That was the plastic stuff. It looks like it was laser cut. And I also found counters and everything. So I'm looking forward to trying out this new game. Well, new for me anyway. I really enjoy the older games. My next project, though, is I'm going to try for Kings of War. I'm going to break some rules because I think rules are made to be, are their guidelines for gaming, and that let's see, make sure I got at least some. I'm trying to get 50% coverage here, or close to it. No, close enough for government work. So the Primaris Marines are, to me, the reason why I don't like them, and this is kind of the same reason I don't like a digital art, right? It doesn't have the human soul, in my opinion. I don't get me wrong, I still think it's art. I don't like it because I think it's soulless. It takes away the human element, the human mistake, the human inconsistencies. There's something precious about it that I don't think we no longer have. I also woodwork too, and if you ever look at like IKEA stuff, it's perfect. Everything's perfect on it. There's no mistakes. Well, and I think the human eye catches it, the human mind catches it to where you don't. There's something soulless about it. An image bearer may have been behind the design of it. And what I mean by image bearer, a human, you know, an image bearer of God. But the machine does the work instead of the human hands. You know, and what's great about the human hands, we're designed to use tools. And you know, woodworkers I have power tools, I have a CNC machine, I would like to have a laser one day, because there's some things that are just, you know, they're good tools to use. But when we're trying to make art and beauty, I think the machine has problems understanding what beauty is, and beauty has a standard. I don't believe in this beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We know what's beautiful, we know what's symmetrical, we know the value of beauty naturally. And in our modern day, we tend to just destroy beauty. So I'm going to try to just keep this video to 30 minutes, and we will just do as much as we can in 30 minutes. Like I said, this is just, see, this guy is not the sergeant. Oh, he's the sergeant. The sergeant has a different helmet. It's just going to be a black helmet. That's how I do in my sergeants. They're easily to identify when it comes to knocking orcs' heads in. Yeah. You know, I'm just, sorry, trying to see where I'm at real quick. I'm trying to have dead space or dead air, I think they call it. But I'm just making sure that I have at least, as I said, 50% coverage of brown. You know, if this works, I kind of like doing this and painting and talking. It's something for my hands to do. So what do you guys think about beauty? Do you think it's just only subjective, or is it objective? Can be a little of both. I think that's kind of an interesting question, actually, to think about. I was listening to a lady, I forget, her channel is called War on Beauty, and it was she made some good points about after the world wars, how we just went totally industrial and mechanized, and we didn't have any type of a beauty of art just kind of went bland and stale. And you know, when I took my design classes for my woodworking, I had to study some of the older stuff, and it wasn't like an extensive class for it or anything. It was just it just showed me that the work that our medieval fathers put into it, they weren't really worried about production. They are really worried about beauty. And there's something to that. Our materialistic world wants stuff done now. The microwave culture, I call it. You know, can I get my meal done in 30 seconds? You know, yes, please, can I have that? You know, but this is actually kind of difficult for me. I probably need to go get my bug glasses, my bug-eyed glasses that my dad bought me. Oh, those things help so much, especially since my eyes are not as good as they used to be. That's okay though, right? We can make happy little trees and build on to what we have here. So if you guys paint, what are you guys painting today? Or what's on your painting table right now? You gotta make sure it's a little sloppy, otherwise camouflage doesn't work. I have an organized mess. I actually had a story. I previously did this one time with a Space Marine army that I had once, and it was funny because I accidentally left him in a forest terrain and left him over the week. And when I was in a club, and didn't even notice until someone came over and said, "Hey, did you leave a guy?" I'm like, "Yep, that's my guy." So it camouflage does work. So if you decide to do this with your miniatures, make sure everybody's accounted for, because it does do the job. Oh, my light decided to come on my phone. See, make sure we're still going. Yeah. So maybe it got too hot. I don't know. We're gonna have a whole bunch of technical difficulties on this. It's part of, I think, the learning curve. You know, I don't expect you guys to stay longer than 10 minutes. That's totally fine. Enjoy what you come to enjoy, and you know, go find another video after you're done consuming what you need. You know, this is for the people who want it. I have no hard feelings if you decide not to stay. You know, if you do stay, maybe go get a drink and, you know, relax and let the dopamine kind of settle down instead of flipping from page to page to page to page. Sometimes that's hard. That dopamine does flow, doesn't it? Always want the new thing. So, like I said, I'm only going to do this for about 30 minutes. So what do we got? About 10 minutes left. I could probably start on the secondary. There's two secondary colors. There's a tan that's more line based. Right now I'm just kind of splotching the brown on, trying to get the coverage. But then I use kind of a finer brush for the other two secondary colors, and I take a little bit more time getting it on. Need a little bit of a drink here. You know, this is going to make a good excuse for me to get all my stuff done if you guys enjoy this. Or if you don't enjoy it, that's okay too. It's all for the people who wish to be part of it. So, next thing I do is I take this desert yellow. So I have a rule I kind of made up on my own. So the desert yellow is supposed to go mostly around the brown. It's not supposed to go into the brown. That will be the black. And the great thing is, still doesn't have to be perfect. So I don't know if I can show you this, but I'm just going around. I might have to get the finer brush, and then I'll try to do a hook, something like that. All right, I don't know. Can you see it? See, I think you can. I'm not sure. If you can't, I apologize. As I said, I won't know until I start editing the video. But this is mostly just for relaxation and just talking and enjoying each other. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my other brush this one. This one's a little worn. This was a little finer. Looks like I'm gonna have to get some new brushes soon. That's okay. Got these cheap Chinese brushes. They're like one of the best things in the world. You just plop them on and use them and just continue on with your day. Just throw them away when you're done. They're so cheap. You know, on Amazon, like I think like 50 of them for, I don't know, like $10. Eventually I need to get my airbrush back up and working, but I'm gonna be moving rooms again soon, so I need to figure out what I want to do, and then for the 3D printers and everything, I have things set up right now to where it doesn't it evacuates the smell and the toxins, even though it comes with a filter and everything. I don't even smell it, tell you the truth. I don't know if my sniffer's busted. But hey. As I said, if this all works out, we'll continue to do this. I kind of enjoy this. Got Mr. Bug. I think that's another thing I don't like about the new GW stuff is that they really, compared to the old, is that it seems, and I may be wrong, I reserve the right to be wrong, it seems that they kill creativity nowadays. They just want their own, you know, you can only be an Ultramarine or a Blood Angel, or, you know, it's still there. The creativity's still there. I just don't see it as much. Especially if you look at the old White Dwarfs and they show you how to build stuff, you know, make terrain, or even the book How to Make Terrain. That was an excellent book. I wish I could find one in a price range that I can deal with. Yeah, see, I broke my rule right there, but that's okay. Breaking rules are fun. Like Bob Ross says, you know, happy little tree, happy little mistakes. But yeah. The gaming store owner that I go to, he does camouflage also, but he did tiger stripes, and they look pretty awesome. And he used this material for his I forget what vehicle that is, the Repulsor or Impulsor. I can't remember. I don't know the new vehicle, Space Marine vehicles. But anyway, he bought a cloth or something over it. And there's something on the brush, and airbrushed kind of like a camouflage netting over it. And I saw that today, and that I'm getting ideas. I'm getting ideas for maybe some of my rhinos or my predators. You know, it looks pretty good. I was going to use baby wipes for tarps, as long as it doesn't have the funny bears on it, right? Since I still have young children, I use a lot of wipes, so I can always kind of steal one or something. Those are good for tarps, but the way, I'll have to ask them, but you found it on Amazon. If I find it, I'll link it to you guys if you want to do that to your vehicles. And we'll just do the underarm real quick, make sure we got. So basically for the secondary colors, you just basically want to spin around, make sure it's kind of touching every brown spot or close to it, and doesn't look lonely. I don't worry about too much of the chest and stuff, because it's going to be covered up with different colors. Just paint the stuff, and you can see that, like right here, totally missed. So, and we're just, you know, miniatures, we're just trying to represent. We're not going to truly get, exact, especially one for one, especially for, 28 millimeter heroic scale. I mean, you're not going to get perfect on that. And by no means am I an expert painter at all. As I said, I paint armies, and I have a lot to paint, so I don't have the time nor the life to waste on, unless it was my hobby. If that was it, if that was what I am doing, but this is for gaming, this is the game too. I like painting, but I need to be able to paint my stuff, get it on the board to play with my toys. We spend a lot of time on our toys. And part of gaming is the interaction with other people. I can't do that if all your stuff is just unpainted all the time. I don't mind gray armies, sometimes that's just your color, gray and silver, right? But there's something special about a fully painted a fully painted table with two armies fully painted, and you can get into the immersion of the game. I think painting your miniatures too is kind of a respect to your opponent, because he's playing the game to have interaction a lot of the time, right? Unless he's just completely competitive and don't care about any type of narrative or anything like that. Hey, you want to play that way? Rock that role. Rock that role, because there we go. Focus a little more on that. My hands started shaking a little bit. If you guys haven't watched my friend Galen Wood, he just did a painting one. That's kind of where I got the idea. I was like, hey, I should try that. Push my technical level a little higher on this YouTube stuff. Probably, it will be funny though if this totally screws up and I can't even post it. Then I just show you miniatures, right? I just take pictures of miniatures and call it a day. My progress. So what do you guys think? Little mistakes here and there makes everything fun. The imperfection. Is there any other games you guys are playing besides 40K? I just read the rules to Stargrave, and I'm actually excited about playing it. I just gotta find players. My gaming store is basically just GW, or Games Workshop stuff. That's all they play, and I've been trying to show the game store owner some different style of games. I'm hoping to encourage him to be able maybe to sell the stuff. I don't know. I'm not a very good businessman. You got to make money to keep those stores open. And I want him to stay open. So I try to support him any way I can. Even though I don't buy a lot of 40K stuff anymore, a lot of stuff just don't appeal to me. Hopefully this all comes out nice. Make sure everybody got a happy little line here and there. Yeah. Once you get in the groove of things, it doesn't take long. I think I'll just knock these 3 out and then call it a day. Or I can continue on after this. Oh, my light went out. Must got hot again. So, maybe that's a good time to stop, actually. I'm going to stop the video. What? hey, if this works, I'll continue on. I'm gonna finish up the maybe some of the base colors, the other colors, and see how it all works. But anyway, guys, Lord bless you, and I'll be praying for you guys. Thanks for watching and just hanging out with me while I'm painting. And thank you for your patience.